And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, I guess that's good enough. And one fish, two fish. Actually, that's the YouTube. Let's check the blue fish. Turn that down. We'll make sure everything's okay over on Twitch. Sorry about that. Nope, brain is stopped. Yo, Art. Everybody, there's a $3 off the outlet store purchase with a coupon outlet 3 free. Oh my. And I'm where am I? I'm going to my Twitch. That's right. I'm checking out my Twitch. I might be a little tired today. There we go. Is that Twitch? I might be a little tired today. That's Twitch. We're good. Let's do more lingerie. 1940s style. Sort of 40s style. It might fall into the 50s. I'm not overly historically accurate. Anyhow, I know I did 50s lingerie before, but this is going to be a little bit different. I think we're going to have a different garter belt style. The panty, I think I'm going to make different. The 30s one had basically a girdle style. This is going to be more of a garter belt style garter belt. The girdle had, you could attach the stockings. Stocking's going to be pretty much the same. And I'm going to do more of a bullet bra, I think. I don't think I did really a bullet bra on the 50s one that I did before. Anyhow, let's get up, and we're going to do. This is basically going to be mostly Marvel's designer tonight, I think. I'm going to try to knock out the stockings first because I can kind of do that off the top of my head without a pattern. I might have to hunt down some. I've seen some panties, and I think they're different than what I did before with the 1950s. What did I call that? Darlin lingerie. I'm not sure what I got to call this. Something 50-ish. Victory lingerie. I don't know. Maybe that's too corny. And bullet bras were, I don't know. We tend to think of bullet bras in the 50s, but it was first invented in like 41. I think I can kind of get away with. And if I don't actually say 40s, I can probably get a little more slack that way too. All right, let's go get an avatar in here. As I like to do, we start off of a Genesis 9 female shape, and then I will fork that. Probably fork that. Recently, I've been going to the Genesis base and then fitting it over, but if I have to split it, this is a good starting point. Victory lingerie would work for post World War II. Underwear. Is that it? I don't know. Is that a 40s term that I'm not familiar with? I'm going to block out stockings. I've done stockings before, so I'm going to do kind of the similar thing. We're going to have a heel. We're going to have a sole. We're going to have a toe cap. But basically, I'm going to start by kind of sketching it out. Then there's going to be a heel portion, and then we're going to kind of sketch out a sole. I'm just going to have to, I'm not going to sketch out the on top of here. Anyhow, let's do the pen 3D pen avatar. There we go. Mucho 40s post-war. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't quite sing to me. And I don't want to say Grable. I have a set of swimwear that I call the Grable swimsuit. And you did not draw. What the hell? I don't think I want to say Grable again. Line created with line avatar cannot cross. Please try again. God damn it. You are the jankiest. I wasn't crossing. I was just closing. Dude. All right, we don't cross. Don't cross the streams. Arliss designer has said don't cross the streams. It got annoyed. Got annoyed again, and it's going to undo everything. Damn it. Too close. So let's try this again. Eventually, I'm going to screw up and get it. Right there. Then we're just going to kind of... I'm going to straighten these out. But we're going to run our seam down the back, right? And for this portion, I'm just going to come around. And this will connect up to... And then we bring you back up. And come through here. Come on. When I click, make a point. Make a point. What the... There we go. Not exactly what I wanted. Lines created within line avatar connect. What do you mean? This has gotten worse. Maybe I'll just do half. Can I just do half? Or is that going to just completely perfect nuke me? I can't even tell where I am anymore. All right, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to split it, and then this is going to be a rough guide for the very front of it. So we're going to run a flatten on that. That not happen? There it goes. Kind of sketch out the footy area here. So here we'll do, and we'll just do kind of half of that. I do have my, nope, I need the one here. I'm up too high, I know. I'm going to come through here with this. I'm going to come around through here. I'm not sure if I'm going to get away with that or not. Then I'm going to have a piece that's going to... Are you just going to do... It'll be kind of like this. And you know what? I'm just going to half that. That work. Then I can just put a sole piece on here. And then I'll just attach a toe. Cannot cross. Let's try, if I don't cross, just do this through here, maybe over to here. He'll come along, kind of in here. This is, how about Cool Kitty? I don't know. Cool Cat might sound offensive to some. I'm pretty sure Passion Pit would go wrong. If you Google popular terms 1950s, you got Cruising for a Bruising, Ankle Biter, Cool Cat. All right, let's flatten this stuff out and let me start to try to put this into something that might work. Potty mind's totally rethinking the 50s, though. I'm sorry, I heard something. I thought, oh well. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. Flatten pattern. Need my good old flatten patterns in here. Need to click on that. This has gotten so much easier in this version. It doesn't do that catch me if you can thing it used to do. You know, or if you're moving around, it would turn blue for just a second and then it would turn back to not blue. Now it just stays blue. So much nicer. Do I want to do maybe all the way around and then, you know what? I might do that. All right, you're half a soul. You are the front part. You're going to kind of attach somewhere in about here, but a little bit different. You are going to kind of attach. You know what? I think I'm just going to wrap around a little bit. All right, I'm going to draw this. And what do I need here? I want this length here, kind of like right about there. That's all right. Let's just start drawing. I have some idea of what this should look like. So it's not like I'm completely lost here. Going to be like a cut zone in here somewhere. And then this is going to kind of wrap around following that shape a bit. We're just going to curve around there a little bit. I'm going to put these off to the side. And now we're going to smooth you out. Actually, I should curve this. Let's switch over to, there's a translucent surface. Select that. Hop into edit mode. Maybe convert you to a coif. Am I looking at the thing that says convert to curve? Of course I'm not, because I've got too many things selected. Convert to curve point. There we go. I didn't. Oh, that's right. They added this little flyout menu here. There we go. That's what I wanted. I'm going to put you. I grabbed the wrong one. That there. Add a point. That one's going to kind of curve like that. That's going to kind of curve like so. This is going to curve a little bit like that. This is probably okay. I'm going to put these on two sides of this. I think I can get rid of. I think I can get rid of this now. I think I'm going to hold on to that for a second. I think I'm going to lose this. Where did you go? I moved you over here somewhere, right? Kind of like that. Going to kind of line you up. You go on the inside. I'm going to do kind of like this. Move that over to the other side. Let's turn our gravity off. Simulation properties. Deactivate gravity. It'll just come in handy for right now. You know what? I don't think I'm going to figure that one out later. I'm going to leave that in here for just a few minutes. And this will actually get welded together. And then I'm going to try to just reshape these so they fit. So for starters, I'm just going to sew down to about here. Or sew the back up. And I'm going to put a heel cap in here, sew here, and eventually we add toe cups. Got it. All right, let's do a little bit of sewing. And then I'm not going to take this all the way down for right now. I'm just going to put it down to here. It eventually will sew through there, but I want to kind of. Why did you do that? Let's try this again. All right, let's orient this so it fits a little bit better, maybe. Maybe like that. And you still didn't sew quite right, did you? All right, let's try that again. What I want is I want this point here to actually sit out here. So maybe a little bit of rotation or pull it forward. Like that. Kind of what I wanted to do. See, this is why you have to have garter belts. I might pull that out a little bit so it can sit down just a bit. That's why you stopped wearing stockings. It's because that Gary always got to play Rocky, right? Or got to play Dr. Frankenfurter. That damn Gary always gets to play Frankie or Frankenfurter. You probably had better legs than Gary too, I bet. All right. Let's see if I can get this to sit on top of the foot. Yay, it sits on top of the foot. Let's see if we can get that to be sewn. So now here's where the sole comes in. I'm going to sew that in there. Do I want to shape that maybe a little? I can't because it's a. I think what it is this needs to be maybe down in here. Tim Curry, yes. Not dead either. Although poor Tim Curry has seen better days, but not dead yet. So good for him. That's going to be, I'm going to be so sad if he passes away before me. I won't be so sad if I go first. Just at that point, I'm not going to care. Uh, is that where I want that, or do I want you maybe in a little, down a little, maybe out a little? I don't know. Maybe a little more room in here. I should figure out how to get this. Let's get a soul down in here now. Yeah, you're trying to get away. I see that. What I probably need. You get back over here. I probably should have just frozen that. Did I just control F you back into shape? Then freeze that for the time being. Then we can just kind of line it up. So I want to reshape that to be more of a. I'm going to put a toe cap on there. So I think I'm going to pull that off. Get rid of that. Clear that out of there. I think I want to maybe curve that a little bit. Probably add a little curve in here. Bring that back. Kind of like that. Maybe bring these forward a little bit. Maybe add a few more curve points here and here. I just get rid of these or convert these to, let's just convert these to curve. You're forgetting they got the new cruelty. And I think I'm going to, oops. So this to this. So that here. Let's unfreeze that. You know what? I'm going to lower the ground just a little bit. Orden 11, how you doing? I saw that. um, I'm making stockings and eventually a 1940-ish lingerie set. So we're currently just mucking around with Marvelous Designer today. As Chris completely has forgotten. No, I kind of remember how my stocking pattern goes. I think. I think I'm just going to put a strip in the back here and then shape it a little bit. Actually, I think. Do I want to bring you back? I want to bring you forward, I think, is what I want to do. Then I have to readjust. No, the sewing moved. Yay. I'm doing great. Late night dwelling at the moment. Okay. My brain stopped. Oh, I remember what I'm doing. Part of that foot is going underground and it's causing the sole to not act well. So what we're going to do is we're going to tweak simulation properties. I'm going to lower the ground height just a little bit. I think a centimeter. And then this is still, that's still pushing. I think it's still fighting the ground. Let's lower the ground a little bit further. You know what? Let's make that an inch. So my ground plane, or I could just turn collision off. That works too. There we go. You're supposed to be all the way up here. You know what? I think I'm going to pull these points forward. So I can get more length onto that. And I might need to curve this. You know, let's just do it like this. And let's readjust these. If that's looking a little bit better. That's a little bit better. I'm a little loose in there. I probably can pull a little bit out of here. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and merge this right now. I think I still have the symmetrical sewing going on. I still need to make that maybe a little bit longer. I think so. I want the toe caps all the way over here. And you are probably way too wide now. And I gotta adjust the sewing down here probably. Something like that. I think maybe smooth that out just a little bit. Probably going to curve that. I'm going to turn the strain map on real quick here. Just to see. You know, that's not too bad. I am getting a little bit of strain, so I think my measurement's about right on there. So I'm just going to draw we're going to round you out. Kind of like that. Then I'm going to make a piece there, and then we'll make a piece that matches underneath here and try to get this. Seam's probably going to run through here, I think. Do I need to round you? You seem fine. I can probably pull that heel back a little bit further. Maybe over and back. You know what? The nudging by 10 millimeters, that's good. I like that. And I think, you know what? I think I'm just going to pull these forward just a little bit more. All right, now I'm going to try to just put some toe caps on here. That's that side. Just going to try to imagine what the foot's going to look like here. So we're just going to draw that out, curve it. Then I'm going to dupe that and try to make it fit over in here. Polygon. There we go. Let's do the polygon. Only go like that. You're going to just kind of come around maybe through here, through here. So let's line you up. I can't do that because I got the strain map on. That's one thing that always bothers me. The fact that I can't actually manipulate things while I'm looking at the strain map. You're going to be right about there. I'm going to go ahead and sew that on. Then I'm just going to tweak this shape. And you know what? Let's do that so it kind of holds its shape. And then we're just going to adjust this to fit that a little bit better. All right, so first things first, let's just turn these guys into curves. Pop into here. All right, you guys right about there. I think maybe that far. Maybe like so. Maybe about there. That's kind of going to work there. What I got to do is when I change, we're going to dupe this. And then when I change the shape, the idea is to get this, match that. And we want to keep this length. The shape's going to change, but I want to keep the length the same. Because we're going to then sew that to this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do measurement. So our target for that is going to be 1694. And that's going to change when I start moving these around. 1694. Well, I got it right there if I forget. And I'm already forgetting. Oh, you're linked. Let's unlink these. Wait. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do removed linked editing somewhere in here. Removed linked editing. There we go. I want you over there. I want you kind of match that. We can actually do this 1348 1275. So what we'll do is change length on that. 134.8. I'm going to say both so that it spreads out both directions and say okay to that. Okay, now we're going to, what are you? 1694. So we're going to adjust this to be 1694. Either that or I'm going to make this longer and this shorter, maybe meet in between. But for right now, I think I'm going to start 177, 162. Pull you over 165, 1645. Probably close. Let's try this. I'm probably going to have to adjust this, but we're going to sew this together. And let's position you like that. You know what? I might be close. Let's just sew it together and see how it goes. Actually, I think I can tweak 1645, 1694. Oh, I'm off a little bit, aren't I? 1694 is the target I wanted, right? And I know that's like 4 or 5 millimeters, but it makes a difference. 9.4. If I can get within a tenth of a millimeter, I'm not going to worry about it. We're like about 5 off. 694. That's our target. Pull this out until we get that to say 693. 692. Dang it. 714. 71706.9. You know, 2/10 of a millimeter off. I'm gonna live with that. Let's sew these together. So that, and I think my brain's got it this time. There we go. I think I got that right. Yay! I have a toe cap. All right. Now we just kind of need to tweak the rest of this. So what I'm going to do is just probably pin this to a spot up on the leg. So our garter is going to attach there and there. We're just going to do a 2-point garter. I'm just going to pin this up, maybe about into there. I might tweak the shape a little bit because it looks like I got the calf too high. So here, let's do a pin avatar for right now. Eventually, we're going to add a garter belt in here to do that holding. Oh, and I still have to add this, don't I? Should be easy. It should be a slightly shaped. I might bring the back of this down a little bit. That is this in here. And my brain has stopped already. What am I doing? I'm pinning again. I'm pinning. Tack on avatar. I'm going to take that. I'm just going to pin that there. I'm just going to take that. I'm going to pin that maybe right there. I'm going to adjust the fit of this a little bit so it's a little tighter. That is definitely in the wrong spot. So we're just going to maybe these down and in. I don't have linked editing on these anymore. Just going to have to manually keep track. I'm still a little too loose right in there. And I'm still a little high. I think I'll take these down a bit. Maybe that, that, pretty close. Take these down and in a scoosh. And I'm going to cut a seam. We're going to actually just take one of these sides and slice a little seam down the middle. Think. Guess I got a little. See, I can't really. Well, I can pull that out from back here. Maybe bring that down. Bring it in. Maybe in a little bit more and down a little bit more. I think that's going to work. Probably going to just smooth that. Let me just pull you up and then just move the pin up a little higher. I'm just going to bring that edge down. Now let's edit the pin. I think I'm in a pretty good spot there. Something in here should say edit tack. Can I? I don't know. Can I get that? Move you up a little bit further. Same with this one. Oops. Let me try something here. I'm heading in a. See, I'm pulling this way too up, way too high now, aren't I? Maybe we should here. We'll do that. That kind of strengthens it, makes it really rubbery. Also, I'm going to lower for just a little bit. We're going to just dial the friction way back on this. So it really isn't particularly sticky, and it's mostly just the tension in here. And then when I'm happy with that, I'll undo that, and then we can work that heel piece in. You know what? I think that's going to work. So, do you need to come down? You're in a good spot, although I think maybe we just move you guys. Use guys down like that. Maybe just a hair. Actually, I want to bring you maybe back. I think that's good. Let me get the heel in here now. This piece here. So I'm just going to make a little box to start with. Measurement says, come on, just select the one I'm clicking on. 47.8. 47.8. The other one's pretty close. We'll call it 50 for right now. We'll tweak that in a minute because I wasn't paying attention to what that should be. 48.7. 48.7. Okay to that. Just bring that, snap that up to there. I'm gonna then sew that there and that there. Bring that in. Boink. Need to pull this around. It may be down a little bit. And down. And you're going to sew up to something in here. I can't tell how long that is. I do that. That's actually say, or you know what? 1117. Let's put some marks in here so I can see what I'm doing. Put a split there. 111.7. Put a split over here. 111.7. Now I can measure this. We can put a split in the middle of that. Uniform split. Get the center of that. 66.1. All right, let's set you. You're 68.5. Supposed to be 66.1. That could probably be a little bit longer. Got too many of these. Do they have that simplify thing? Is that? I thought they had a new simplify curve in here. Yo, Sacred Sage, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. I see you stream occasionally, but it's always like you go on like at 9 in the morning, and I catch it about noon, and I'm going, oh, yeah. For some days, you're even earlier than that, dude. But totally, if you can check out Sacred Sage and catch him while he's actually streaming, doing good, training for CDLs. Oh, dang. Good luck with that. Um, Optimize curve points. Yes, we like that. Excellent. That's what I was looking for. Optimize curve points. This is so much prettier than before. We like. I think that's good. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe we'll pull that back just a little bit. I think maybe right about there, 70.7, 70.6. Yep, good old MD. It's usually where most of my projects start. So, new project, lingerie. I know I've done lingerie before. This is going to be a little bit different. Chris, are you not feeling well? You haven't done Marvelous Designer forever. I've been not doing Marvelous Designer on stream as much because, well, Marvelous Designer Monday. I've been trying to not do it on Mondays because that's one of the days Emerga can actually catch me, and he doesn't. He's not crazy about watching the Marvelous Designer. He likes the Blender stream, so I try to accommodate my man. Um, I had a number 7.07. That's what it was. It's just an iced tea, just plain old iced tea. Lipton. I don't even know if it's Lipton. It might be Lipton. It comes in a powder. We could do Marvelous Designers on Saturday afternoons. We could. And what did I say? 70.7. Let's try that. Change length. 70 points. Can I say 6.5? Nope. 70.7. Say okay to that. Let's sew this to. Actually, that's the 70.6. So that gets sewn in like that. I'm going to make a copy of this and put it on the other side. And I'm going to merge this and try to round that out a little bit better. See if we can do that. Control D. Oops. Let's select a pattern. Control D. Bring that around like so. Just kind of imagine I'm going to merge these together. I hear sound. That's nothing I need to worry about. I don't know. You want to do Marvelous Designer a little more regularly on Saturdays? We could do that. What's nuts is you haven't touched MD in two years, and I'm still understanding what's going on. I can see how it would stick with you. All right, let's see. I'm gonna straighten this up, then I'm gonna merge that together. We're gonna curve it out a little bit. I'm gonna adjust the lengths of the curves. and that should fit into the heel cap there. So let's get you. So what I want to do is, this isn't straight, so let's make that straight. So when it merges, it doesn't do any sort of weird tweaking side to side. That and that. You watch whatever you do. You're just well, as I have mentioned, I am not opposed to doing, trying to optimize parts that people like to see. So if you'd actually like watching the Marvelous Designer more than the Blender or the DAZ stuff, for some days I just want to get stuff done on projects. So there's that too. Um, you know what? We're going to curve these out. I'm going to tweak the lengths on this. So you need to be this twice. Like what? Exactly. My whole stream is all about watching grass grow. 47.8 is 95.6, 94, 95.6. Change length. Look at how close that is. 95.6. I'm going to tell it to do both. So that it pulls it in a little from both sides. Say okay to that. I'm going to adjust this length to whatever that is. 141.3. That was an easy one. We're pretty close. Actually, 141.3. I think I might just drag this a little like so. Maybe 141. I'm going to zoom in. 141.3. There we go. I have to show you what you've been. If you want to share stuff and point a link to it while I'm streaming, feel free to do that. I'm not opposed to getting distracted to show off other people's stuff, dude. Mostly. I'm going to say mostly. let's put a qualifier on there. Because that's the way I roll. I'm all about qualifiers. Can't. The video shows a butt demonstration. Oh, dang. Post a link in the Discord. If you want to. Don't feel like you have to. All right, we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to lose that, and my phone keeps making noise. My client keeps sending out these notifications to companies I can't own stocks in. Not that I own stocks, so that's always been my safe way of dealing with insider trading. Don't. Okay, this goes to here. This. I'm insider trading, so you got millions. Oh, dude. Oh, so the CDL is just a cover. I get it. So you can actually drive that giant truck RV of yours, the one with the huge satellite disc and the laser that will destroy Paris. All right, let's see how this goes. Boink. I got something backwards. I know exactly what right here. We're gonna flip you. Call it flipper. Reverse seam, something like that. Reverse sewing. There we go. That's better. And then I have this one seam right here, which I didn't bother sewing. So maybe we should, possibly just get that sewn in. What the heck? All right, I think I've got stockings. They're not done yet. We're almost there. I'm gonna cut a little inside strip off of this. Sent to alt gallery. Check it out after scene. Only a minute or two. Dang, that it doesn't sound like it, but a minute or two is a hell of a lot of animation. I was watching some of our friend Quasi Media share stuff on the Saturday Night Social, and we're watching his, and I'm going, dang, this thing runs forever, and it's like a minute and a half. It's just world characters switching clothes. All right, I think I'm going to mark off something right about through here for our stocking. I got some weird points in here, don't I? What are you? Can I just convert you to a curve? Will that make me happy? Oh, that's the pin, right? You know what? I might as well convert you to a curve. Missed. Try that again. Just got his goddamn headphones on too high. All right, where do I want to go? Right about in there. Let's put a split seam in here just to give me an idea of how far that should be. Split, what are you, 47? We're going to do 50. That's just about a 2-inch band on the top. I'm going to do that. The offset is the internal line. I'm going to say 50. First, we're going to cut and sew that. I'm going to make a stocking top out of that. All right, we're going to put our stocking seam right there. I'm going to put a really fine seam in here. I think I'll just do maybe 3. Offset internal line. Say 3. Say okay. Cut and sew that. Should be good. Let's unstrengthen this. Let's see what we're getting. It's kind of okay. We're going to sew that onto the garters, so that'll probably be okay. I might even just smooth this out with blender or something. Anyhow, let's do some fabric naming, and let's move on to maybe the panties or the garters. Out loud. You get back. What are you doing down there? Why do I have a property editor here? Where'd my fabrics go? There they are. No. Oh, man. There we go. All right. You're going to be stocking. Stocking. All right. Stocking top. We put the underscore in there. Gonna be seam. Seam. Sole or heel. We'll say heel, sole, toe. Gotta go to bed. Hey, yeah, good to see you, man. Thanks for popping in. Have a good one. So, oh, there we go. Is good. Let's assign stuff. Let's get the colors going. I like the new color picker because I can do this. Just keep it open and just do the next one. I should actually say apply. Let's try that. Let's try that. Apply. Uh, apply. Apply. Before I had to, you used to have to close this. Very annoying. So it would be, you'd open up this window, pick your color, you would have to close it, then it decides color, then you have to open it again, pick your color. This is so much better. I can just pop this open and just knock out all the colors easily like that. Did I cut and sew you? I don't think we cut and sewed that yet, did I? I'm not, am I doing the wrong thing? Are you, I did cut and sew you, okay. You are the top. I'm gonna zoom in, let's see if we can get that into the seam. Yes! Sweet. Here's the heel. That's the sole. These two are the toes. All right, let me arrange this into a way that makes sense. I think this is good. It's kind of squared up. And of course, we're just going to, do I have any, I just control D this whole thing. Do that. Should be good. That, of course, slides down because I don't have these pins in it. All right, I'm going to bring up a pair of garters on screen 2 that you can't see. It's on a mannequin, but it's a flesh-colored mannequin. And you can see it in the reflection of my glasses, I'm sure. So those actually come here, down to here. We're going to, they loop down into here, then we're going to strap it. Maybe I should pull those stockings up a little further. Too late now. I already cut the seam out of it. You know what? I'm going to remerge the seam back in. And then I think, let's remerge these back together and bring, I want to bring it up just a little. Nah, I'm going to have long straps. Okay. Let's draw some lines in here. I'm going to see if I can do any better with drawing on the avatar now. Probably not. We are not especially hopeful about this. Comes down there. This has kind of got a peaky top, but it's going to curve into about here. That strap's going to be maybe 15 or 20. If I make it 20, it'll shrink a lot better. And I'm just going to bring you up into here. Probably too high because now I'm coming all the way up there. So put all of this stuff down a little bit. So we'll grab the old edit pen. Maybe bring you down. You down. And can I just pull that curve? I need to add a curve point in here so I can do this. Probably good that way. Maybe take a look at the butt. Kind of the same, except there's just a square. Are you covering the belly button? You're actually up above the belly button, so I'm going to move this up a little higher. Okay, we'll pull you there. That. You know what? I'm going to be naughty. We're going to just have that belly button peek out just a little bit. All right. I think that's good. Now let me see if I can draw the little back. Kind of the same. And can I just continue from here? Going to kind of come into here, over to here, way up here, here, and you just kind of come back around. Do it like this. That work? Yep. Then we're just going to redraw that. Yeah. All right. Let's flatten that out. Use that as a guide. I think you are going to be like this. I think that's about something like that is what I'm going to do. All right. Let's draw this out. We'll do the polygon tool thing. Bring you around this. I'm going to reset the sizing on that. And you just do that. Probably a good start. Do there. There. Get rid of these gas. You're going to come around like so. That. All right, let's set the length here and here. Also, I want to put a little piece on the one I'm looking for. There's this little kind of like a bra snap at the very back up. It's going to be a little square piece at the very back. Set to whatever that length is. I should measure that. And that's like maybe 35 millimeters or so. You are 43.5, 35, 43.5. Okie. That's just going to go right in the middle of the back. Maybe somewhere about there. Okay, this needs a nice curve through here and here. I don't want that to go less than 90. That's probably going to be okay. This one should almost come right to 90 there. I'm having a hard time seeing that. At least it's not the same color. You know what? I'm probably going to live with it like that. This has got kind of a peak in here on this one. I'm just going to kind of maybe bring you like so. And just add a little bit in like that. Now the idea is I'm going to match that length with this one. So that's 41.4. Set that to be 41.4 and we're going to push it that way. Change length. I'm going the right way, so 41.4. Okay. I just want to get this lined up with that. I should be able to just drag that up and it should just snap. This, I can probably just want to maybe pull that up a little bit further like that. Let's do some sewing here. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And I'm just going to dupe this. So I am going to end up merging this together because that's basically one piece. And actually, let's sew this together and see what it's looking like before I merge that. Should be in good shape. I already did that. Never mind. Escape, escape. This does need to match the other side of that, though. There we go. I ran a little high. Moving the escalada. Oh, moving the escalade. All right, see you when you get back, Art. Happy parking. All right, I'm going to adjust these to be about 15 or so. Change length. Does it make any difference? You know what, I'm just going to say 15. Change length. I want to go the other way with that. Make that 15. Moving to Escalada. Mmm. Enchiladas. I don't know. I might curve this a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think we're just going to pull these up and then put a curve in here. I'll do that. Maybe bring you guys in just a wee bit, like so. I'm going to come over here and put a bit of a curve in here. I can't tell what I did. I can't quite see what those angles are. Is that looking any better? Yeah, it looks a little bit better. It's running a little. First, when I get those straps in there, and then we can adjust it, and it'll kind of. Also, I might make it a little bit wider so it sits maybe just a little lower on the hip with these. Thing is, I want my panties to be right up in there too. Panty's gonna have this diamond crotch thing going on. I think I saw that in a vintage pair of panties. eBay's a good source for that stuff. All right, let's put a strap in here. I'm just going to sew it on here and then try to get it to be about long enough here to pull down. There's going to be some tension in that, so we're going to have to adjust a little bit. But for starters, let's do this. You're going to be 15. Let's make you, I don't know, start with 100. And I'm going to put that one in the back. Actually, let's duplicate that. That's the one that I'm going to put that in the front. I'm going to turn you around, bring you up back here. So let's sew that to there. This to here. Put those on. And let me see if I can get you to come down. Probably good. All right, that's this stocking here. Gonna catch you right about there. You pull you down just a little bit. You're going to get attached right about there. I think I'm heading in the right direction. All right, let's dupe these. All right, let's get rid of the pins that I have in here now. Edit tack. Bye-bye. I got another one right there. Maybe I just need to make these shorter. Or you know what? We're gonna do the let's take the stretchiness out of these. I know they're supposed to stretch, but I'm gonna make them stronger. We're gonna do the elastic trick. We're actually gonna make this like 100% elastic, and then the stronger we make it, the better it'll hold its length. If we say 100, and if I turn you to 100, you should just stay to, right? How long are you, by the way? That's 130. Uh, so that's staying good, but I want it to pull up on the stocking a bit more. You know what? I'm going to put elastic on these lines right here. And ideally, that should be pulling. Is that good? I might want that to ride down a little bit longer. Also, I'm going to tweak. We're going to do the same thing right here. We're going to set those elastics to 100. So right now, that's 160. 2D line's 160. 3D line. You can see it's being stretched out from 160 to 225. So if we tweak the strength on this, that should get shorter. If I say 100, it should just go to 160, right? Nope. It lies. I think we're pretty close. I think maybe I'm just going to make these a little shorter. Sometimes I just strengthen you guys. Yeah, what do we do the accurate? I think that's fine. Do I want this a little bit more on the... Yeah, I think I'm going to move these over just a little bit further. These ones. Right here. I like that. Eventually, I'm going to set some stuff up to be hardware on here. Probably going to fake it with displacement maps for the most part. Are you? Is that from the accurate fitting, thinking that there's a ground? Accurate fitting kind of sucks. I know with accurate fitting, I can't change the gravity. And now with accurate fitting, I'm thinking that maybe I can't turn the ground off, but let's just double check on that. Because this definitely looks like it's hitting the ground. Right there. I got it turned off. I had it turned off. I guess it has to be different. Can I just do this? Does that change things? See, then if I switch this back to accurate fitting, gravity comes back, and the ground pops back on. I turn the ground off. Still have accurate fitting, but I don't have the ground. Oh, how annoying! Yo, Zach, how you doing? I was thinking it was time for some more lingerie. I gotta redo my rock. I'm gonna redo my rockabilly dress too. I think I've pulled it out of all the stores. It was a little old for G8. I like that style, but I want to update it to a more complete product. Anyhow, the cowgirl outfit's coming along. Been busy with the side hustle and stuff. Cool. Oh, I gotta make you make more of. Damn it. Uh, I think is all right. Gar's looking good. Let's put some trim on here. Let's merge to that. Let's set up some material zones, straps, trim. Yeah, you need them side for the side hustle, right? Let's do this. Let's add. You're gonna be garter. I gotta merge this right here. I just say merge with that. Boink. I think that's fine. Let's clean this up. I'm gonna just say convoy to coive. I missed. Try that again. All right, that looks good. You're gonna be garter. You're gonna be garter. You're gonna be garter. You're gonna be trim. So let's set up the trim. I remember Victoria's Secret made lingerie too. Yep. Let's do that. 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 So offset actually, and actually, I'm gonna put a bigger one there. This, 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 and this are gonna be thin trims. Let's just do fives. Say okay. Do good old cut and sew on those. These I'm gonna make a little bit thicker. Offset is internal line. Let's say 10 on those. Front row. I gotta undo. Did I already cut and sew that? Yeah, you know what? I do this. There we go. I think offset is line 5. Okay. Cut and sew those. That looked good. That looks good. That should be fine. Say 10 on that one. Cut and sew that. All right, I'm gonna just put a little trim there and there. Those are just going to be little 5s. Cut and sew those. Think I'm good. All right, garter. Let's set these up. Copy garter trim. And I think straps. Garter trim, garter straps. I think I'm good. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to put little squares on here that will sit right about in the same area. And I might put a little square in here that I can, so that way I can take the D-force on these and turn them off so they stick together. Yes, art garters. Let's give the garters color. Do this. Apply. Apply. And apply. You know what? Do it like this. Grab all of these. Grab the straps all at once. Grab all of this. And make that all trim. Then I can just grab these parts here and make those garter. We should be good there. Okay, I didn't find the panties I was looking for earlier. Let me see if I can. I have to look on this stuff over on screen too. You never know when you're going to get something a little too risque when looking for 1940s panties on the internet. Uh, you know what? This might do the trick. I can show that on stream. And that's kind of maybe what I'm looking for. See if I can do that. Those are suspender belts, French knickers, French knickers, suspender belts, bras. Nope, that's not actually what I'm looking for. You know what? This looks like an old ad, and that might be in the ballpark for what I'm looking. Why am I not opening that? And I can kind of trace this out. It's probably this has panels down in the crotch. Kind of what I was thinking of doing. Maybe something. Maybe something like this. Let's try this. Open a new tab. Maybe sketch this out. We can put a panel in. That'll be in the front and the back like that. Seams down the sides. This is going to be somewhere up closer to the top of the garter belt, probably. And I don't know if this got like little fringy stuff, but I'm not sure I'm going to do little fringy stuff. My seam, so we're going to have the top seam here. Going to come down through here. There'll be a panel right about in there. A cool mesh. A cool mesh. It does look like Sears ad, doesn't it? It looks an awful lot like the way the Sears catalog would have looked. So if it's not from a Sears catalog, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. What I mean. Uh, all right, I'm going to hide the garters. We're going to hide everything right now. And we're just going to work on the panties. Do that. What we're going to do is we're going to deactivate the pattern in the sewing. We're just going to hide all of that. I'm going to drag all of that up here for right now. I'm just going to sketch out. You know, too bad there's not an easy way to delete this stuff. Extra lines. You know, too bad I can't also just, I just do this. It gets really weird. There we go. I don't need these anymore. So what we're gonna do is back into the old pen avatar. I'm gonna just have like this little panel to come in through here, to come up through here, bring this around, something like this, maybe a little bit like so. And it's gonna kick in through there. Why does it do that? I have no idea why. It's like it won't let me finish the pattern. Yo, bro, can't cross the streams, but I'm not crossing the streams. I'm just ending. You know, it used to not be this finicky. They probably improved this. That would be an improvement. You had something that worked fine, and then you went and fixed it. I don't know. Can I? Nope. It's just not going to let me draw a pattern piece in there. I'm just going to have to eyeball it in here instead. I might be able to do this. So I'm going to want to kind of cancel that because I used the wrong thing. Do polygon. I'm going to have it maybe start here, down, curve that out. You're going to kind of come up to the hip. I'm going to line that up right about in there. That, do not, damn it. What the hell is going on? Did it fix? There it goes. All right, let's smooth some of this stuff out. I just convert you to a curve point. Yay. Put a little bit of a curve in there. I think I'm just going to duplicate this. That. We'll put the normals on that. So now it becomes a back piece. And let me kind of maybe match this up a little bit. Can I? It's probably going to complain when I do this. Let me see if I can pull this off. If I get rid of you, if I take you, flip you around like that. Oh, it worked. Yay. So now I know that this matches with the other one. Now I can just add another piece in here. Gonna line that up. That's gonna be pretty small. We're gonna put maybe a little bit of a curve in there because I think that's the way these things work. I'm just gonna copy this. Flip the normal on that one. I'm on the wrong side. I can't do that over here. And am I backwards? I hope not. Put you down here. Over here. You back out here. Where did my front piece go? I lost it because I turned it into this little thing here by accident. That's okay. We can just make a copy of this. Bring it around. And you're actually, I'm going to put you over here. Here the front. I'm going to try to tweak the back a little bit more later, I think. You need just like more material or something. Actually, I'm on the wrong side. I'm going to do it like this. Here's the back piece. And you guys go like that. Then we can control D, go over, just sew all of this together. I think we're good. Then I'm going to shape this out a bit better, the rear. Which I think entails bringing this down and maybe flattening this out. And yeah, I think try this. Boink, boink, boink. Yeah, that's just pushing. Oops. Ouch. I think I totally need more. You're sitting up too high, aren't you? Might need to do like this. Maybe make you a little bit wider in the crotch. Getting there. Do I want to put a seam? I wish I could see the back of this so I could tell whether or not there's actually a seam in the back to fit the butt better or not. That would be really uncomfortable though. But that's exactly what a manufacturer would think. It's gonna look better. I don't care if you got that seam right down your butt where I'm getting there. Problem is I just got too much And this program has an issue with all that extra cloth in the crotch. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and maybe make this all one piece. Merge that. And then can I just merge you guys? That's not going to work. Merge the other sides first. You and you. Good. Now can I get away with saying merge on those? Not yet. $98.6. 98.7. Oh, that's right. I don't have the bottoms sewn in anymore, do I? I'm going to undo the linked editing. You lose these points. Now let me see if I can get these to be happy with each other. And you know what? I probably... Actually, I'm going to leave a seam in there. So I'm going to actually maybe put a little bit of a curve in there. Like that. 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 And then sew these together. That might be okay. All right, let me see. We're almost there. And I still have a bra to do. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do that Thursday. If I don't accidentally knock it out before then. I'm going to unstrengthen these. I'm going to put you back like this. Maybe just kind of position you over here. And kind of maybe line these up kind of like... Do I want to... Actually, let's merge the fronts and the backs together. Probably the way you would actually make these, right? One nice piece. Yeah, and then do the same thing here. All right. And we're going to chop that up into little seamy pieces. Let's... I still have the editing going on there. Nope, wrong button. Offset as internal line. Let's do 5. Let's say okay. Let's cut so that. This. Actually, let's do... I'm going to do another one of those 10. And before I do this, though, I'm going to take off the linked editing on that. Doesn't screw around with how I do this. Offset as internal line, but that one's going to be a little bit longer. Maybe 15, a little more than half an inch. Okay, fine. We're going to do the same thing. Take the link editing off of that. Set the internal line to 15 on that. Good. I need a little 5 internal lines on these. Yeah, I want to put little. I forgot to cut and sew. Dang it. Cut and sew those. All right, gonna put little internal lines right there. There. Cut and sew those. Internal lines here. Cut and sew. Little one right here. One right there. So that. And I want one right here. All right, so I'm gonna do trim, front, back, crotch front, crotch back. So this is all gonna be panty. Oops. Maybe without the catwalk on. And we'll start with panty trim. We'll make everything panty trim to start with. Easier to do it that way. And then we'll just happy panty front. You know what? I want to actually set the waistband up on its own. Panty waist. Front. Want crotch trim, you know, panty trim crotch. Panty rear. Crotch. And trim crotch. And I think I'm going to say trim waist. That way all the trims kind of get grouped together. Alrighty. All of this. That on to start with. These. That over there. Let's change these colors so we can actually see what I'm doing. You know, here we'll go with these. Apply. Apply. Waist. Panty. I got panty front in there twice. Damn it. You know what? Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. I grab all of this. Drop that. I can't tell if it did anything. Doesn't look like it did. You don't look like, you know what? I think it selected more stuff than I actually wanted it to select because you guys are still supposed to be panty trim. All right, we'll try that again. Hey, it actually selected. No, selection's gotten a little bit better. Although that was a little sloppy, wasn't it? It's still it's it's still a little off. I think I'm good. All right, let's unstrengthen all of this. And I might put some elastic on those edges a little bit. We'll see. And maybe a little on the waist too. Hum diddy hum diddy hum diddy hum. Is it Alt H? Control H? There we go. Control H. Come into here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just slide that out a little bit. That out a little bit. We're going to select these. You look like you're still mirrored. So I might be able just to do that. Take that like up there. Put it back. These back. Excellent. All right, let's touch you up. Same for these. $57. All right, it's almost time to call it a day. But we've got some good progress on here. Boink. All right, that. Ouch. Ouch. I don't know. Can we just stretch the whole thing out a little bit? That fix that? Kind of. I kind of like the way the fabric looks if it just wasn't sitting so high. Um, oh, and I've missed part of this. That's working a little better. You know what? I might be able to work with that. All right, let's get the garter and the stockings in here. I should save this. What a novel idea. Save as a project. I don't actually have a 40s. You know what? I'm going to just shove this into my 50s folder. Because you could probably get away saying this is 50s underwear too. I think, tentatively, I'm just going to say 40s. I can't spell lingerie. Underwear. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to hide it here. Let's do this. New folder. 40s underwear. Under there. New folder whip. 40s underwear. Let's do. Grab all of this. I'm going to give that a layer. I'm going to do Q, bring it back. And activate. I'm going to have to tweak those panties to get underneath the garters a little bit. So actually, if we take, now that I've got that kind of on top, and we take that layer off, I think I gotta maybe just pull the garter belt out further. Possibly just try to get those panties to sit a little wider and a little lower. Because that's kind of annoying, isn't it? the way the panties are slowly, just because of the tension in this, in the flop, in the simulation. I mean, I can put those back. But it doesn't really like it, does it? Not gonna lie. So I'm going to do is I'm probably going to stretch the garter belt out a little bit, but then I have to readjust these. Oh, ooh. I might reattach these and then stretch it out a bit and recut those out. So it's a little looser. Also, anyhow, that's where we are now. We're making good progress on panties, garter belt, and the stockings, and we do want to add a bra to this set. So there is that. So I am happy with the direction we're heading in this. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's is it Tuesday? It's only Tuesday. Let's find somebody to rate on a Tuesday and call it a day. Hey, if there's anybody over on the YouTube, thank you for being here. Remember, kids, follow, is it like and subscribe. That's right. I gotta remember to say the thing. I'm gonna go with a pointy bra because I didn't go with a pointy bra last time. We want the pointy bra. And by we, I, of course, I want the pointy bra. Um, because I'm doing a different style. Last one had basically the girdle with the attachments onto the stockings. I think my panties are probably a little bit different than this. Stockings are going to be an awful lot alike, but what are you going to do? Then I want to do a different sort of bra, slightly different in style. So that's the direction we're heading in. Hey, thanks Art for being here. Hey, hey, hey. You following Charles? Hey, if you're not following CS Bond, check him out. Hey, thank you for being here, Art. Always a pleasure to see you, man. And what do we got going on? That's right. It is. I got my summer background. AI to the rescue. Don't tell Willie. Um, it's ethical AI. It's okay. Um, that's right, summer. You know what? I think maybe if I make the straps longer, the garter will want to go further up. Ideally, I want the garter to be sitting up here. Anyhow, enough of that. Let's are you my Twitch? You're my Twitch. Let me see who's on and let's rate out. I will be back Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time for the standard stuff. I'm not sure if I don't make any progress on it, it'll be broad night. And then we can start thinking about how to get this all over into Daz. Um, I'm going to the bottom of my follow list here, and then we're going to work our way up. Infozar is on, always an option. You can go over and say hi to Irumakin, which of course will probably just lead to Infozar. Let me see if any of the art friends are on with just a few. So we're going to work our way up from there. I don't know who Embalmed Apple is. Doom Kizzle. I'm not familiar with them. Riv Critter. Riv Critter. I think I know Critter. Yeah, Chris is over there. Yeah, Riv Critter hangs out with Chris the Cripple. We're going to go over there. She does the cutest illustrations. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing or what is going on anymore, but hi, chill art and game stream. All right, there we go. That's where we're heading. Reminds me, oh, you're going to the beach tomorrow. Sounds like fun, man. Anyhow, let's do this. We got the, hey, feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already. And, let me see. I'm going to copy this. He's been on for 2 hours, but I don't know. 2 hours for me isn't quite the same as 2 hours for more normal human beings. So that works there. Let's do this raid. Control B. I didn't do the raid calls. Let's do the raid calls. Grab the raid call that applies. If you can join the raid, that would be cool. I'm grabbing that sub raid call myself. And hey, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I will see you Thursday, possibly. If not, hasta la vista, baby.